Hello and welcome to Chapter 2, Lesson 3. Today we're going to be talking about addition patterns. So, what would happen if I'm adding 10? How would the number change? How would it change if I'm adding 100? How would it change if I'm adding 1,000? So we're going to kind of dig into that today. Here's a little example of what it looks like so you can kind of get your brains ready to go. So let's get started. Example 1. The bank book shows how much money was added to Bart's account each time he visited the bank. How much money did Bart have after each trip to the bank? Complete Bart's bank book. Okay, so the circled digits show which place value changed each time. So Bart had blank money after the first trip. Okay, so here we go. So the circled digit shows that he went from $575 to $576, right? So he had the ones place went up 1, so he got $1 more. So Bart had $576 after the first trip. Blank money after the second trip. Okay, so now we're noticing the hundreds place changed, right? Went from 500 to 600, which means he added $100 to his total. He has $100 more dollars. So now he has 676. Notice the only digit changing in this one is the hundreds place because we're adding 100. When we are adding $1, only the ones place changed. Everything else remained the same. Okay, and blank after the third trip. So in the third trip, we went from 0,000s to 1,000. Okay, so he added $1,000, and the only thing that's changing is that thousands place. 1,676. After the third trip. So Bart added some money to the 1,676 he already had in his account. He now has, here we go. He's going from 1,676. He now has 1,686. I'm going to make that a new color. Look at the only one that changed is we went from 7 tens. Right? This is the tens place. 7 tens to 8 tens. So how much money did he add to his account? Well, 7 tens to 8 tens, we're getting one more 10, and 1 10 is worth $10. He added $10 to his account. Okay, let's look at example 2 here. You can flip the page. Okay, Patrick kept track of the miles his family traveled on a trip. Each time they stopped, he wrote down the miles from the odometer. Now, the odometer is just the number on the car. So the car, by where the steering wheel is, tells how many miles your car has traveled, how many miles the engine has on it. So that's what the odometer is. I don't want that throwing you off. So Patrick noticed a pattern in the numbers he wrote. Describe the pattern. So notice, we went from 600s to 700s, we added 100. Here I'm going from 700s to 800s. So again, I'm adding 100. Now, if that pattern continues to go on and I keep adding 100, I'm going to go from 800s to 900s. Then I can fill in the other numbers because they remain the same. Only the hundreds place is changing. Each time they stopped, the numbers increased by 100 miles. Write the next number in the pattern above. We did that. Check. So Pattern's family stopped every 100 miles. It's pretty impressive if you can stop exactly at 100 miles every time. All right, here we are at the guided practice. So we're going to write the number in the place value chart. So if we want to know what is 100 more than 3,728, so I'm going to look at the hundreds place and I'm going to add 1 to the hundreds place. So now instead of 700s, I'm going to have 820. 3,828. So everything else remained the same, only the hundreds changed. Here, for number 2, I need to take one more than 281. So I'm going to look at the ones place, and I'm going to add 1. Keep everything else the same. So now I have 282. Okay, now this one we're trying to see what is changing for number 3. So the 6's stay the same. Oh, look, 3 to 4. So we're looking at the hundreds place is what's changing. Let's double check nothing else changed. 2 to 2, 5 to 5. Okay, so our hundreds place went from 300s to 400s. So that means I added in 100, right? Because the 100 was added in. All right, here's my stopping time. If I am an in-person learner, I'm going to stop right here. If I'm a distance learner, I could keep watching because Mrs. Hamer is going to do some more examples. But if you're an in-person learner, you can stop now because I will do those examples in class. Practice. Write the number in the place value chart. Okay, so again, we're doing 10 more than 567. So instead of 6 tens, we're going to have 7 tens. Everything else remains the same. Went from 567 to 577. 67 to 77. That's 10 more. One more than 358. My 8's going to become a 9. Everything else remains the same. So I went from 358 to 359. 1,000 more than 1,592. So my thousands place is going to go from 1,000 to 2,529. Put my comma in there. I guess they don't put those in there for you. Okay. 100 more than 5,308. Okay, let me try that again. 5,834. We're adding 100. So hundreds, 800s. Now I'm going to have 900s. And everything else remains the same. So 5,834 becomes 5,934. Okay, let's do some complete the number sentences. 1,271 went to, look at this, 2,271. So I went from 1,000 to 2,000, which means I added 1,000. Now let's look at the next one over here. So I'm noticing 4s are the same. 2 to 3 in the hundreds. That's the same. That's the same. So we went from 200s to 300s. That means we went up by 100. Okay, so over here, number 7 says, what is 10 more than 1,465? So I'm going to increase the tens place by 1. So it's going to be 1,475. Okay, number 8, well, it's 100 more than 8,699. I'm going to look at that 600, and it's going to become 700. So we'll have 8,799. What's 1,000 more than 3,007? Changing that thousands place, so now we're going to have 4,007. Okay, so here, identify and complete the number pattern. What would the next number be? 2,378, 2,478, 2,578. I'm noticing each time that the hundreds place is going up by 1. So the next one's going to be 2,678, then 2,000. Oops, it's terrible too. 2,778. Then the next one, 2,878 and 2,978. There we go. So the number pattern is plus, 100. It's our number pattern. Okay, so here, let's look at number 11. 5,903, 5,913, 5,923. And I'm noticing the tens place is what's changing. 0, 1, 2. So our next one is going to be 5,933, 5,943, 5,953, 5,963. The number pattern is plus 10. Number 12, a baby horse weighed 104 pounds at birth. It gained 100 pounds each month. How much does the horse weigh in 4 months? So to me, if it's gaining 100 pounds each month, how much would it gain in 4 months means we need to add 400. So if I take 104 and I'm adding 400s, then I'm going to have 504 pounds. So I better write pounds because I need to get my label in there since we're looking at a word problem. Number 13, which pattern shows 100 more? Explain how you know. Okay, so I'm going to look at the hundreds place. 400, 500, 600, 700. Make sure everything else is the same. 1,056, 1,056, 1,056, 1,000. Well, really, it's going to be the first one. Let's just double check. 100, well, this one's going down 100, so we know it's not that one. Not showing 100 more. 8, 8, 8, 8, not that one. 0, 0, 0, 0, not that one. So, yeah, it's the first one we looked at. So, how do I know? Because the hundreds place increases by 1 each time. And that shows 100 more. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and make sure you let me know if you have any questions.